Hey guys, I'm Nob, and I got some news for you. The presidential election is already over. Actually, it's all done. The polls show Trump will lose to Biden, just like they said, 99% chance he loses in 2016. So Trump should just drop out. Really, Newsweek published this article says Trump is obviously going to lose, but he's not going to give up his power. They say he'll claim there was voter fraud and blame it on China, and then he will invoke emergency powers to investigate interference, leaving the House of Representatives to choose the president or whatever, and the Republican majority House will vote for him. This conspiracy is all easily verifiable by all the sources in this article. There are no sources. Shut the fuck up! Here's one of those fact check things I learned in activism class at Harvard. So listen, voter fraud is a myth, man. These articles are really long, like one whole page, so I didn't actually read it, but the headline says it, so yeah. And there's a pandemic or whatever going on right now, so we need mail-in voting for all 330 million citizens and the 20 million illegal immigrants too. Illegals can't vote though. Well, only technically. When I applied to vote this year, I had an expired driver's license as my only ID, and I couldn't remember my social security number, but the city let me apply anyway. Plus, the House leader said mail-in voting removes obstacles and barriers to voting, and she probably agrees with me that stupid things like voter ID and citizenship are racist and stuff. And in Texas, they found 95,000 non-citizens registered to vote, so they're gonna be disenfranchised. This dead cat also got voter registration application in the mail. Who's gonna help her fill that out now? Luckily, in California, there's an executive order to mail every registered voter a ballot. Who cares if their inactive voters are dead or whatever? LA alone has 112% voter registration because they love voting so much. I gotta say, though, some of our heroes in the inside, they keep getting, caught. This Democrat official forged records and falsely marked absentee ballots as invalid, and this judge accepted bribes to stuff the ballot box with Democrat votes, and this election volunteer illegally invalidated 300 absentee votes, and this councilman destroyed votes supporting non-Democrats, and this mail carrier was opening people's mail and switching their party affiliations. Actually, that's a great idea because you can't vote for the party you want unless you register with that party. But guys, don't get caught, man. It's makes people think there might be issues with mail-in voting, but there aren't any. What we need is less obvious action. For example, Maine's got a good idea, just being vague about the rules so no one knows what they're supposed to do, and then when the voters fuck it up, you can just act like New York does and have one of the highest rejection rates of ballots without letting the voters fix any of the issues. That's what California did, and 100,000 mail-in ballots were rejected, mostly because they arrived too late, and that's according to the plan. When 4,000 mail-in ballot requests were discovered, just stashed away at a post office, they'll probably mostly be voided and stuff. Even if it's not the fault of the voter, man. but why bother making them arrive late? Between 2012 and 2018, 28 million mail-in ballots just went missing. That's a lot easier, man. New Jersey just sent Republican voters mail-in ballots featuring only Democrats. That's too obvious, and it led to an investigation, man. Eventually one county had to get rid of 20% of all their mail-in ballots because they were, fraudulent or whatever. Still, I don't get why libertarians want to replace the Federal Post Service with, private companies. You think the government isn't responsible or something? So yeah, I'm glad the New York Times and others are publishing these stories of saying, Trump's false tax on voting by mail are stirring broad concern. After all the information I gave you, it should be obvious, that mail-in voting is the best way to get what we want. And Newsweek said, he's not going to accept the results anyway. Clinton also said so.
I think it is a fair point to raise as to whether or not, if he loses, he's going to go quietly or not. And we have to be ready for that.
Yeah, this is probably her 432nd time coming out to talk about how the 2016 election was unfair, so we should totally listen to her because she has experience not going quietly. Obama also came out again saying mail-in voting should be for everyone, and He knows what's best for everyone. That's why, he used the CIA and the NSA and the FBI to falsify evidence against Trump for the Russian investigation, because he knows Trump was dangerous. But it's really messed up, though, that Trump is fear-mongering about mail-in voting. So it's good, like, Twitter fact-checked Trump's tweet about it, but they admitted their fact-check was wrong. Shut the fuck up! All this worrying about election interference is so dumb. I mean, like, oh shit, it's a Russian hack, no!
What percentage of the flagged posts in the civic harassment queue, as it's called, were Republican conservative?
Upwards of 75 to 80% of the posts in that queue were from Republican pages, politicians, journalists, and pages that supported the president or supported conservatives.
Yeah, it looks very Republican related. Like, I love our president. Why are we getting this?
If you see a conservative post, you just get rid of it. Right.
I don't give no f***s. I'll delete it.
You told me that you just whack all the conservative posts and just gone, right? Like even like hashtag MAGA or hashtag MAGA 2020.
It's political. It stays up.
Yeah, but not for you.
No. Oh, no.
Deleted.
Yeah.
Who else to proactively delete?
Marcella, Kevin, who's like the midget that I harass about his height. And then there's like Truck, Gabe, Cassie, Jen. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Dante, Skylar, Shania.
If they attack like 30 years ago, maybe I'll take that. Yeah, I can take that. If a Trump post was to come up and it was promoting Trump and I could take that down, then I feel like that's the
You've seen anything at Facebook?
Do shadow bans.
Yeah.
Facebook's notorious for it, and they say they don't, but it's clear that people's content don't comes up because it's been defiltered off the queue. They're doing something, man. They're just trying to pretend like they're not.
Yeah. Are we back? Are we back now? Oh, good. So, like I was saying, election interference is a dumb concern. So share this video on Facebook so we can get the message, out there. There's not much time left before Trump starts the Holocaust. Like, he's worse than Hitler and Stalin and Mao, and we gotta make sure we get Biden in. I'd vote for him even if he boiled babies and ate them. And we just have to eradicate Trump supporters from society and attack minorities because they're voting wrong. Whatever it takes.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.